Hello, fellow ink drinkers, and welcome back to the Blind Girls Book Talk podcast. My name is Aria.
And I'm Belle.
And we are two legally blind sisters who love reading and love books. And so what we've done is we've decided to start a podcast in order to talk about that. We talk about a wide variety of bookish topics, and that can range from bad retellings of stories, book to movie adaptation comparisons, buddy reads, recent reads, bookish challenges. Really, the list does go on and on. And today, well, what we had planned for today didn't happen. Still, some things have happened that has kind of made that a little bit difficult. So we're improvising. We are on the fly. And instead, what we're going to be talking about is recent reads. This wasn't planned for quite yet, but that's okay. What we had planned for, it may never happen, and that's okay. It just means that I am a little sad because I think it's a cool idea, but who knows? It might come up much, much later. We shall see. And so, that being said, I'm trying to decide because, okay, so far in the month of January, I have read, at the day of recording this, I have read 7 books, which couple weeks in, that's not bad. And a couple of them are actually physical copy books, which is amazing for me.
Show off.
And so, of course, Belle is following her resolution of she's going to read what she wants when she wants. And she hasn't really been able to read all that much, which is okay. Like, that is not a bad thing. We do not go against Belle for that at all because
Law school is hard.
A, law school is hard, and B, sometimes you need to focus on other things other than reading, and that is okay. We no judge in this house. That being said, I'm trying to decide which book I want to talk about. And the reason I'm struggling is because technically my most recent read, or the most recent book I finished, is a sci-fi book. And I don't read sci-fi often. The reason I'm reading sci-fi is for a different thing that I might talk about another day. But I'm very proud of myself for, reading a book that is technically outside my genre. And it wasn't like an alien romance, which is like amazing for me too, because, I feel like those are a little bit easier for me to read as opposed to like an actual like sci-fi adventure. But this one was kind of a sci-fi adventure. The title of the book was Celestial Velocity, and it was by, I think it's Mary Ash, I want to say. Let me double check that and make sure. Yes, Mary Ash. And I actually surprisingly enjoyed it for it being a sci-fi thing. I thought it was very cool, very neat premise. But again, it is a sci-fi, so it's not like my top read, but like it was pretty good, all things considered. Like for it being a sci-fi, it was pretty good. But another one of the books that I read that I do want to talk about is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. And I believe that's written by Sarah Hockley. Let me double check, because I want to make sure I am shouting out the correct person. Sarah Hawley, Hawley. And I really enjoyed this book. As you can tell from the title, it's kind of like a paranormal romance kind of thing. I thought it was very enjoyable. It is about a witch who kind of struggles with her powers. She accidentally summons a demon and craziness ensues. I will be getting into some spoilers, so spoiler warning. for those who want to read this book. I do recommend it if you are a fan of like paranormal romances and that kind of thing. I think you would enjoy this one. It is a little bit spicy, so if you're not a big spicy reader, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for you, but otherwise it's a very interesting story. And so the warnings out of the way, like I said, pretty much the story is about this witch. She accidentally summons a demon, and pretty much he is trying to get her to enter a soul bargain, but she of course summoned him accidentally, so she doesn't want that. And there's a lot of conflict between our main character, who I know the demon's name is Oz. Mariel. Mariel. So there's a lot of conflict between her and her mother. And it's one of those, it was just like, it was a fun story, but at the same time, it was just like, sometimes those kind of things can get a little real. Like, no matter how good your relationships are, you know, with parental units and that sort of thing. Sometimes, like, when you kind of butt heads and, you know, you don't necessarily, like, you have arguments and stuff. Sometimes when you read a story like that, you're just like, holy bagolies. But yeah, all in all, it was a pretty good story. Oz was a fun character. I mean, I will say, like, he is a demon who has a soul, and apparently demons without souls are very different than those with, which he's the only one with one. So that happened. But yeah, he was a fun character. It was a good read. It was an enjoyable read.
On a side note, I'm rereading Hungry Girl's Guide to Murder.
Hey, look at you go.
Don't ask me what chapter I'm on.
Yeah. How's it going? Have you made some progress?
I think, hold on, I can tell you what chapter I'm on. It is not far. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, that's good.
4.
Hey, you're doing better than me.
I'm on chapter 4. But to be fair, anybody who has read A Good Girl's Guide, the chapter numbers aren't exactly what all you've read, because there are some I don't want to say clippings.
Like snippets?
Yeah, like it gives you like Pip's journal, entries for her project. So like there are some of those mixed in. So even though it's chapter 4, I've read more than what feels like 4 chapters.
Well,
3 chapters.
Okay, here's my thing. I'm currently trying to read, 12 books at once, which is not good for me. But the physical book that I'm reading is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. And I think I'm only on like chapter 3 in that book. I am not very far, but I keep being pulled back to my Kindle read because I want to get it done, because, well, it's for a future podcast episode, so I don't want to say what it is right this second. But considering we do have a movie we're going to have to go see as well, you know, I do want to get this read, you know, checked off the list, so that way we just have to go see the movie and I can take my notes there and then go from there, see what happens, that kind of thing. How's it going?
I may have made a mistake.
I just watched you. So, okay. One of the reasons that Belle has been a little bit quiet this episode, other than, you know, she hasn't been reading much, is that she is also kind of working on a crochet project.
I am. Listen, this project needs done, okay?
It's fair. I get it.
It needs done. It is slowly becoming the bane of my never-ending existence. Yeah.
But the struggle, I just watched that struggle happen.
I'm trying to sew an eye.
She's making a plushie.
I am. I think his legs are actually 2 different heights.
It's okay. He's your first one.
He's struggling.
He's deformed.
He ain't gonna be the prettiest thing.
That's okay. It's not a problem.
I made a mistake of not putting his eyes in before I sewed up his head. And, his head and his body are all connected. And by the time I realized I didn't put his eyes in, I'd already sewn the head. Yeah. So, I couldn't put in the eyes.
So now you have to make do.
So now I had to hand sew these eyes in. These safety eyes that I, created a little eye socket. Yeah. This is really off topic.
It is. But, when we came in without a plan, what did we expect?
This was not supposed to be this episode.
This was not supposed to be this episode. I was supposed to have a couple more books read by now to be able to talk about something else other than the books that I have currently read. And the struggle is real, but that's okay because things happen and sometimes you have to roll with the punches. Yes. And that's all you can do is just roll with the punches and move on. What was that for?
I got inside of a stitch. Okay, this is where Belle really messed up. Not only did I have to create a little socket for the eye to be able to, attach the eye, I also did it with a completely full-size smaller hook. So I'm trying to thread into this really fine space. Yeah.
It's not going well for you.
It's not going well, but I got it in the first stitch, so now the eye is hanging on by a singular stitch.
It's halfway there.
No, it's not.
Oh, so we're not living on a prayer.
No.
Oh, drat. But anyways, so yeah, Belle is currently, rereading a series that she's read. I am struggling to read 5 books at once, which we should never let me do that.
I don't know why you did it to begin with. That was a dumb thing on your part.
Girl, I started and then I couldn't stop.
Well, stop.
Girl, I can't. The urge to read all of the things is real. And I have so many.
Well, stop the urge and do one thing at a time and not 10.
But 10's more fun. I will say, okay, technically, I have 3 going. I have 1 physical copy, 1 Kindle book, and 1 audiobook. Which, for me, that's pretty good. However, I have another book that is waiting in the wings. So as soon as I finish the 1 physical copy book, there's another one waiting to slot in. There are several audiobooks that are that way too. As soon as I finish the one that I'm on, I got to go to the next. There's one waiting to be slotted in. I need to get in a better system of okay, I'm going to read this and then I'm going to finish this. And I just haven't found that system yet to just start trying to get through some of these, because sometimes I wonder if my resolution of reading more physical books that I own is going to cause me problems.
Most likely, yes.
Especially because I'm stubborn enough to be gosh darn it, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get through some of these. It's going to happen. I will do it if it's the last thing I do.
Yeah, you kind of entered into this one on your own territory.
I did, and I don't know how to stop it.
See, this is why I like mine. I just read what I want, when I want, and right now, if that's not a lot, that's fine. Persuasive arguments, they're hard.
They are.
Client that you don't know how to defend, also hard.
Yeah, it would be difficult. I won't say it wouldn't be. Yeah, I don't know. I'll get my life together, maybe. Kind of. I know why it's this way. It's because I'm taking a page out of your book, And like, I want things to be done now instead of realizing like I have a whole 12 months to do what I need to do. But it's a problem because I'm like, I want to check it off. I want it to be done. I need this to happen. And that's my problem.
And then there's me. Should I probably be, doing some looking at research and like fixing up some stuff for a thing due next Monday? Yeah, I should. Am I doing it? No, I am not. I'm sitting here trying to sew an eye onto a plushie.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what's happened, but we need to like switch
our lives back. That's what I was just thinking. I was like, you're taking a page out of my book and I'm taking a page out of yours. And this is weird. What Twilight Zone have we entered to make this a thing? Oh, yeah. But yeah, so I know this is going to be a shorter episode and I apologize for that. And maybe someday this episode that we keep teasing will see the light of day, but it might not. And like, that's okay. Things happen. You just gotta.
Do you really?
Probably. Do I know this for certainty? No. But probably, maybe, sort of, kind of, in a sense.
We're going to go with it.
Right
now, we're going to go with it. And if this episode never happens, this will be a fun thing to talk about for like our 2-year anniversary or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Next year, this time. No, 3-year.
Oh, crap. Did we miss our anniversary this year?
Well, we just kind of moved past it because I figured we celebrated 1 year. Because of how last year went, where there was a lot of like retrospectives, like right in a row, I was like, I don't want to do that again. So.
And you're the sappy, sentimental one. What the heck?
I just wasn't feeling it. The sentiment wasn't there. And I never want this to be something that seems like very fake, that it's just like us playing something up. Nah. Not about that life.
Nah, this is very unscripted.
Unscripted, off the cuff, like genuine.
You get what you get.
You get what you get. We get what we get, and we don't get upset.
Honestly, fair.
So, yeah, it probably next year, this time, well, maybe a little bit earlier, when we celebrate 3 years, we'll talk about this magical episode.
On the bright side, he has a singular eye.
Oh.
This thing looks so derpy.
He's so derpy.
What have
I done? My gosh. He's cursed.
Thanks.
I love him. But he's cursed. Well, I cannot wait till this is done. So I can put this, I'm like, okay, if you follow us on Instagram, keep an eye out in stories, because the moment this thing is done, he's getting posted on Instagram.
So
because, not gonna lie, he's gonna be one of those, he's derpy, but he's adorable.
I don't know, man. I'm really starting to question what I did. What have I created?
Oh, dear. Well, okay, that being said, sorry this episode is all over the place, but hey, things happen.
I wasn't even supposed to be here.
No, but I conned her into it. Because I knew this episode was going to be all over the place. So I was just like, if I must, you must.
And I know I'm a real big old lady. I'm over here crocheting. Leave me be.
It's okay. We'll leave you be. So that being said, we want to thank you for coming along today as I talked about some recent reads and some other random things that whatever this episode ends up being, I know it's going to be random.
It's going to be titled something like Arya's recent read and Belle's cursed crochet. Something stupid.
No, it's
like
probably
that.
just going to be just recent reads and randomness. Like, let's be real, because that's what this is. It is a mixed bag. But of course, if you liked this, if you
liked this, what is wrong with you?
No, listen. Me personally, I love just random craziness. So like, if you like this, you're my people. But if you like this episode, if you like what you've been listening to, please consider following the podcast and sharing the episode with your friends. It really would help us to grow the show, and we would be very appreciative of that support. And then what are we going to be talking about next time?
I don't know.
I know. You're currently wrestling with a plushie.
I am. He needs a second eye. Okay, hold on.
Oh, no, I will give it because I know what's going on. Next time, we're going to be doing a challenge, and we are going to be doing the Do I Have That Book challenge.
The answer, most likely. Wait, maybe not. It depends.
It depends. So, that being said, we will see you guys next time. Bye.